Hi there everyone, today I want to introduce you to my new deck, which is the Inner Compass deck. This deck helps you to hone in on what your values are, so those values can act as a North Star in your life. For centuries, people who have navigated the earth have used the North Star as a way of guiding themselves in the direction of where it is they're wanting to go. And in your life, it is your values that lead you in the direction of what is right for you, your own personal North Star. So many people are not living in alignment with their values. For example, so many people really value together family time, but they're working an 80-hour work week, right? Or they're like, oh, I really value personal achievement, but they're like giving up all of their goals for the sake of somebody else's needs. You cannot live a happy life. You cannot make the right choices for yourself if you do not know what your values are and powerfully prioritize according to them. We have values relative to every sector of our life. We have values relative to our family life. We have values relative to friendships, values relative to romantic relationships, values relative to work, values relative to leisure time. The good news is, in this deck, I've got you covered because I have 200 value cards. Let me show you what they look like. This is what the cards look like. That's the back side. This is what the front side looks like. So each one of these cards, this one is connection. Each one of these cards has the name of the value and then a short description. So for connection, it's to feel that I am connected to others, to be linked or bonded with another, to have deep, meaningful closeness with others, to feel the sense that nothing is separate from anything else and that I am not separate or apart from anything else. Now, for my favorite spread, which is the main spread for this deck, you've got these 4 cards. Right? You've got North, East, West, and South. North here says very important to me. East is important to me. West is somewhat important to me, and South is not important to me. Now what you're going to do is you're going to lay them out in front of you with the very most important to me here, and then so on and so forth down the row. And you're going to take every one of these cards, and you're going to organize them into a row according to what is most important to you. So like, let's say that if I see purpose and I realize, wait, purpose goes, it's very most important to me. So I'm going to put it there right underneath. Now let's say that I draw something like connection and I go, oh wait, that's also the very most important to me. Now I look at, well, where does it go relative to purpose? Is it more important than purpose or is it less? If it's less, I'm going to put it like that. And I'm going to keep doing this. Depth. Depth might be important to me, but not the very most important to me. So if that's the case, let's say this is going to be aligned right over here. I'm going to put this one underneath here, like that. And I'm going to keep doing this with the entire deck until I have, for each one of these sections, I have my row of what my values are and in what priority position. So I should end up with, this is like really important, for the very most important to me, I should be able to very clearly see what my top 10 most important and in order values are. Doing this spread makes it so that you can very powerfully prioritize according to what your values are, because the thing is, you are not actually living a happy life or a life that is worth living or one that is true to you unless you are powerfully prioritizing your life according to those very top values. There are so many different ways to use this deck. Chances are you're even going to find different ways than what I put down to use them, but I have included in this deck 14 different ways to use this deck that will help you to clarify what your values are. Another one of my favorite ways to use this deck is with regards to making decisions. So let's say that you have to decide between this and this. What you'll do is you'll look in this deck and find 10 values that are met by making this decision or are met by making this decision. So let's say that I'm like making the decision between whether to go on a vacation with my friends or whether to stay home. If it's about going on vacation with my friends, maybe one of the values that gets met is connection. Maybe another one of the values that I find that gets met is purpose. Maybe another value would be something like fun. And I'll do that, for 10 different values on that side. Then I go to the other side. What values would be met by staying, by not going on that trip? Maybe it's focus, because I know I'm not going to be as focused when I'm over here than when I'm over here. Maybe it's rest. Maybe, you see what I mean? Okay, so you're going to go and you're going to do 10 values for each decision. And then from there, you got to arrange them according to priority. So if I'm looking at all of these values, 20 values essentially, I'm going to put them in order of priority. Now I'm going to take whatever that top, especially top 2, but whatever that top priority is, and that's the decision I'm going to make. So if that top priority was focus, and focus meant staying home, I'm going to make the decision to stay home. If that top focus is connection, and connection is over here, I'm going to go on the trip. This booklet, which is included in this deck, is going to help you to understand more deeply what values are, and it's going to help you to learn how to use this deck. There will be no questions in your mind, to help you to find your own personal North Star. Here's the thing. If you don't know what your values are, this universe is going to put you in all kinds of value clarifying situations, but I can assure you, a lot of those value clarifying situations are not very fun. So what I'm attempting to do, aside from line you up in a more powerful way with what is actually right for you, is to give you an opportunity to use this deck to hone in on what your values are before the universe has to put you in those value clarifying situations. Perhaps the hardest part about defining your values is being honest about them. Because we live in a society and we live in so many cultures and families where certain values are seen as acceptable and certain values are not. But there's no possible way that you're going to be able to live a happy life and a life that you really want to live unless you're powerfully able to admit to those truths, even those values that you might consider bad or wrong. Because the thing is if you value it, you're not going to be able to unvalue it. You're going to have to learn to live in alignment with it and to release the shame you have around some of these values that are honestly the truth for you. This deck is amazing for personal use. It's great to have around the house, but if any of you are therapists, this is an amazing deck to use with your clients. The people who are the happiest on this earth are the people who are doing what they value doing, who are acting in a way that they value acting. They are people who understand exactly what it is that matters most to them in life, and they are prioritizing their life according to what matters most. In summation, what this inner compass deck does is it makes you aware of what your actual values are and in what order. And it is by knowing this that you can make the right decisions for you, that you can go in the right direction for you, so that you can live your life according to your values, and by doing so, live the life you have always wanted to live. So if you're ready to dive in, you can go to tealswan.com/innercompass.